Um, I'm going to really just sort of provide an overall summary of some content and dive deeper into one of the attachments in this week's content. It's really related to this press release from July of 2022 connected to patient survey data related to health data privacy. Just as a reminder, though, there is a short privacy health data privacy survey for all of you to complete. Won't take you too long, and we'll be using that information, and that'll be a springboard to the final assignment in this course as well. But I'm going to ask you not only just to check this out, but go even a little deeper. So this press release was related to a survey, excuse me, that was conducted by a group on behalf of the American Medical Association. And it really summarizes some very interesting perspectives. It all had to do with privacy. And so some big themes here, some that are really not surprising, others might be probably more interesting. Privacy is a right, first sort of subheading here. And again, we're talking about health data, individuals' health data. What does it mean to them? There's an association with health data privacy and it being a right. Now, I think we all know this, that the average person who experiences healthcare is not familiar with all the privacy designations. They might have heard of HIPAA just because if they have been hospitalized or families have been experienced in the healthcare system, they've heard of it. They don't know all the rules and regulations related to it. However, there's an understanding, even at a basic level, that one's health information, one's health data should be private. And if you sort of scroll a little bit down, you'll see where individuals are most comfortable, certainly at their physician's office or within a health system, least comfortable with their health data and sort of the privacy aspect of it through social media, big tech, talking about Apple, Google, Facebook. Well, Facebook's in social media, but sort of the big tech companies that all of us are very familiar with. And of course, employers, potentially prospective employers, and what they can glean from one's health data, obviously from a judgment perspective, a bias perspective, a discrimination perspective. So, this is simply just asking what individuals are concerned about and least comfortable with. There is a need, or at least a perspective, that every organization, company, especially those outside of the healthcare world, that collects all kinds of health data should be held accountable. I'm going to share a very quick analogy that just actually happened to me today related to that. And the last couple pieces are about transparency and control, where they're most comfortable with, goes back to information. But I want to sort of highlight a couple things. People want choices on how the information is used, and so 3/4 of patients want to opt in before a company uses any of their health data. We're not exactly sure how those companies use health data, except opting in is just assumed, especially if there's a product that's purchased. You're not going to be able to use the product or access the product without really automatically. There is no opt out option in terms of the data being sent over the company. The last part of the survey, which I think is most interesting, has to do with the impact on health equity. And so we're looking at, again, we're focusing on the notion of discrimination. And that's discrimination well beyond healthcare when it comes to finding employment, housing, perhaps benefits, insurance coverage as well. So the association that my data may be used by an organization, whatever it says about me, whatever my blood tests say, or whatever is noted in my medical record, be used against me. I want to go back to this part right here. It just so happened that today I had my annual physical exam and, really have a great relationship with my physician. And he was asking me, how things going health wise, nutrition, exercise. And then he comes to sleep. And I said, one of my goals, and it's been an annual goal for about 4 years, is to try and get better sleep. But it's true. I don't get a lot of sleep, and I envy individuals who can sleep 7, 8 hours. I'm more on the 5 hour, and I'm really trying hard now. Look, it's all within my control. I'm a little bit more of a night owl, and I don't get a lot of sleep. He immediately showed me, which you might be familiar with, I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing right, the Aura ring that he was wearing, and said, Kevin, I'm in the same boat as you. I got this. He pulled out his phone. He showed me his sleep patterns. He talked about the benefits of sleep from so many health perspectives, which I think we all understand. And he said, you should think about this. And of course, his sleep patterns, I think his heart rate, all kinds of things are measured through the ring. I've heard about this before. I've never actually seen it in action. Stored on the app. You have to buy a membership. I think it's like $6 a month. And the first thing I thought of was, okay, if this helps me monitor stuff that might be beneficial, um, the data just is not stored, certainly on a phone. I can track it. I can do all kinds of things with it. Um, but does it remain private? Does the fact that well, if I choose to, or he purchased this to benefit him, where does this data go? And does it matter to me? I mean, does it matter if I was thinking all these things as I'm driving away from this doctor's visit, more so than anything else, because this is a wearable device. And we're going to examine that a little bit later on in the semester. It's also something that, 15 years ago, we think about Apple Watches or all kinds of clinical devices. It really is marvelous how the technology has advanced so far, but it brings up these data questions. I'm going to ask all of you, as you are thinking about this, as you're taking the health data survey, as you're looking at different websites, to think about data privacy and security from a much bigger perspective than just sort of a records perspective or what happens within the walls of a healthcare institution or a long-term care facility. Like you think about it from a user perspective. I'm going to use the term user, not so much patient anymore. Users as the general public, users as you and I when we are out, when we are wearing our smartwatches and data is being transmitted, when we're considering how do I get better sleep, all these things to play. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. Um, don't forget about the your introduction and the data privacy, and we'll see you on Blackboard. Thanks very much.